Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be using the Friendcation palette by DESI and KATY, which is from Dose of Colors. So this is what it looks like in the packaging, and when we take it out, it's this super nice glittery packaging. I'm obsessed with it. On the back, it says all the different names of the shades. So if we open this up, this is what the palette looks like. I'm obsessed. I have not used this yet. I did swatch a little bit. If you can see that little imperfection down there, that's my fault, but this is what it looks like. There's so many neutrals in this palette. I'm obsessed. I definitely want to get a chance to use this nice blue shade over here, but I think this is a really good palette. It was on Ulta. I think it retails for $50 or $55, but there was like a good deal going on around the holidays, so I bought it for myself because it was like half off. So I'm super excited to use this. So if you want to see me create a look using this palette, then just keep on watching. Alrighty, so I just zoomed you in so you can see my eyes better. But like I said, I haven't used this palette before, so with just my standard old fluffy blending brush that is ruined, I'm going to pick up this light transition shade right here, and I'm going to apply this all over my crease and lid. And looking at the back, it looks like this is the shade called Basic. Not a lot of kick up on that one, which is really nice, but there obviously we had to tap off all the excess, and also really nice mirror in this palette. So this is super light, and we're just putting this down as a nice little base before we go in with more pigmented and darker colors. Next, because I just want to use as many colors as I can, I'm going to pick up this shade right here, which is called Necessary, and I'm just going to do the exact same thing that I did with the shade Basic. I'm really obsessed with this packaging, guys. It's so freaking pretty, and so far the colors are really good. They're blending nicely. They build on top of each other really well, so I'm super happy about that. But this has so many neutrals in it, and then like the nice pops of color, so I really feel like you can do a lot of different looks with this palette. So next, just to deepen up the crease a little bit more, I'm going to dip into this shade right here, which I believe is called Churro, and just gonna lightly tap some of that off. And now I'm going to be a little more careful and just apply this on the outer part of my eye and crease. As you can, yeah, much pigment, so good, love that. I'm just gonna slowly drag this in. I probably should have used a smaller blending brush for this, but oh well, you live and you learn. We're just gonna go with it. And I'm just gonna leave it like this for now. We'll fix it towards the end, like always. So next, with my favorite concealer brush of all time that I love using for shadows, I'm going to pick up this shade right here, which is called Just a Kiss, I believe. I'm gonna pick that up. Oh, looks like it's not really picking up that well on my brush. So this shade Churro, nope, I take it back. This shade Just a Kiss wasn't really picking up well on my brush, and I typically never have that problem, but I picked it up with my finger and I just applied it on my lid, and that worked just fine. But I'm really not a fan of that because I don't really like using my fingers to apply my eyeshadows. That's just a personal preference though. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this same brush that I use for all my shimmer shadows and attempt to pick up this color, which is called A Moment, and see if that picks up better with a brush, or if I'm going to have to do the same thing and use my fingers to put it on. So far it already picked up really well in my opinion, and I just sprayed some Fix Plus on it. And now I'm going to focus this on the outer edge of my eye and very carefully apply this because it's a really dark pigmented color. I really am a huge fan of that. And just like slowly drag it up into the crease ever so slightly. And then I'm just slowly dragging whatever is left into the center of my eye. Just dipping a little bit more back into the shade and just applying some more on top of it, just to get some more pigmentation out of the shade. So I really like how that looks so far. I know it looks really insane and out of hand. So again, I'm just gonna try again to pick up this shade with my brush because I just like how it looks better with a brush. Like, it's more, you can control the shade more. Like, I don't really like it on the finger because it's just too messy and out of hand, and I'm not into it. All right, so let's try this again. So what I want to do is layer it on top a little bit and kind of mix these two shades together so they kind of blend into one another, just so it looks nice and blended and more natural. Okay, so I just cleaned up the outer portion of my eye just a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a smaller fluffy blending brush. This is the MAC 221, and I'm going to go back into this super light transition shade called Necessary. Pick this up on my brush, tap off all the excess, and what I'm going to do is just blend all this as much as I can, just so it doesn't look too out of control. So just picking up the shade A Moment with this nice little crease brush, I'm gonna tap it all off, and very carefully I'm gonna apply this to my under eye. So what I'm noticing is these shades are giving a lot of fallout down here, which is fine because I could clean them up later, but if you're someone that likes to do your foundation first, this palette really isn't, you know, too great. So we got a lot of fallout, which is okay, but when there's so many other palettes out there that you don't have that problem with, it just makes you question whether the price tag of like the $50 or $55 was really worth it for a palette like this. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick up the same fluffy blending brush that I was using earlier, and I'm just gonna go back into this nice neutral shade called Necessary, and I'm just gonna apply this to my lower lash line just to kind of dull out the intensity of the blue a little bit because we got a lot going on. So this is what it looks like so far. It's not terrible, but it's not my favorite thing ever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go do the other eye off camera, and then I'll be back and I'll give you my thoughts on this palette and how the look came out. Alrighty guys, so I'm back. This is not the most terrible eye look I've done personally, but I'm really not like that big of a fan of it. Like, let me bring my mirror closer to me. Like, maybe if I didn't do my lower lash line, it would look so much better. This look is definitely wearable, like to go out like during like the night to a club, you know, whatever. I'm gonna apply some foundation. This is CoverGirl Clean Matte BB Cream for oily skin. I have combo skin, but that's fine, that's beside the point. This is in the shade 530 Light Medium. So let's see how this goes. So I think that matches me pretty good. So, okay, I think that kind of helped, but in the viewfinder at least, it looks really crazy. In person, it really doesn't look like too terrible, but in the viewfinder, the under eye area is looking scary. So I'm gonna zoom you in just so you can kind of get a better idea of what it looks like up close. So now that it's zoomed in, I feel like you see that it's not so crazy looking. It's definitely bold, it's definitely out there. It's definitely a lot going on. I'm gonna pop on a just black eyeliner on my eyelid just to see if that works. I'm not gonna attempt a wing because I think that's gonna just be way too much, but I think it's okay to wear if you want to go out during night. I wouldn't personally wear this during the day. I would wear a variation of this during the day, but I just feel like this is too much. These are not the easiest to work with. I think all the matte shades that I tried are really good, but the shimmer shades just weren't doing it for me. There was way too much fallout. And like, I really don't know if you guys can see, but like in person, like you see all the shimmer like on my nose and my face from where all the fallout was, so it's just not a cute look. But so like I said, I'm gonna try some
liner on my eyelids, see if that helps make it look a little bit more wearable, and I'll be right back. So I may have lied, I did apply a little bit of a wing just to see how it would look at that point, and it still looks freaking crazy. But I used my Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner. I love this stuff. It works really, really good. And I also applied some of ColourPop's I was about to say mascara. Oh my god. Liner. And this is in the shade Honey Dude. This is what it looks like. Just to see if I could like make my eyes look a little bit more open, just so they're like not so intense. Cause in person, like, I'm really looking at it and it's like not that bad. Like, it's really not. But on camera, I feel like I look like a nut job. Let me see what happens if I change like the brightness a little bit. See, like when I up the brightness, I have to feel like it's not that bad, but it's still pretty crazy. Or like, let's see what happens when I make it darker. Yeah, I look freaking crazy. Alright, so now, just because we already came so far with this, I'm gonna apply BH Cosmetics Liquid Lipstick in the shade Indora. I've never tried this. This is brand new. I recently just bought this. Let's see how this looks. So, this is a really pretty lipstick. Definitely does not go with this eye look. Okay, so what I just did, I used a makeup wipe and I kind of did my best to wipe off some of the blue from my under eye. I think it made it look a little bit more wearable. Not my favorite thing. I definitely flop with this look. Pretty lipstick. I don't really think it goes with the eyes. Not my personal choice. If you could rock it, you go for it. But my overall thoughts on the Friendcation palette, I'm not a big fan. It has a really nice mirror though. The colors are really pretty. Can't lie, and they're super pigmented. I can't complain about that. But I didn't like how the shimmers applied. Way too much fallout on the shimmers. The only thing I really liked about it were the mattes. There really wasn't much kick up. There wasn't much fallout from the mattes, so I really liked it. The shimmers, I could do without personally. But, you know, if you had a good experience with this palette, that's awesome. It just didn't work for me how I wanted it to. Not a fan of how this came out, and I've done this look several times with other palettes that have the same color scheme, and it came out fine and it was very wearable during the day, but it came out so wearable, so I liked it better. This just, I don't like it. Maybe my opinion will change when I'm editing it and maybe I see it doesn't look so crazy on camera, because in person it really doesn't look that bad, but so far in the viewfinder I feel like I look like a nut job, and I don't like that at all. But again, I just don't think this is worth what the $50 or $55 that it costs. I only paid half the price for it because Ulta was having a sale when it was the holiday season. So I got this for myself for Christmas. So for the price I paid, I think, okay, why not? It's worth it. But at its full price, I don't think it's worth it. I feel like the shimmer shades should have performed better. But this, I'm so sorry if you heard that ambulance. But the packaging is really pretty. You know, again, like I said, colors, super pretty. But the shimmers just didn't make the cut for me. I don't think they're worth the cost of the palette. But anyway, just so this video doesn't go on and on and on, because I could literally sit here and talking about all the things I don't like about the palette and things I do like about it. If you enjoyed today's video and you enjoyed watching me make myself look like a whack job, and if you think I don't look like a whack job, please leave a comment down below. That will make me feel so much better about myself right now. But if you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you next time.